While Wonder Woman 1984 wasn't a good movie, Gal Gadot is a really good actress who I personally enjoy seeing in films, whether it's superheroes to spy thrillers. If she's in it, there's a likely chance I'll enjoy it. And now she's coming out rebuking Hollywood's misogyny narrative, saying men will always show up to watch female-centric movies if they're well written and make sense. I have a few different things to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon or a supporter via YouTube memberships. So starting off with this Bounding Into Comics article, Gal rebukes Hollywood's misogyny narrative. Moviegoers do want to see movies with women if the story is good. And this is something that I say all the time. I love movies with strong women. Men typically love movies with strong women, as long as it is not a Mary Sue character who, of course, can do no wrong. She's a magically so overpowered. These are the things that people in general don't want to see. It says that speaking with Vogue Hong Kong about Heart of Stone, she was asked, how important is it to you to portray these types of roles? What do you hope audiences take away from your performances? She responded with, great question. Well, it's funny. I guess I just got lucky playing very strong, powerful characters. Heart of Stone was something that I always wanted to do. I always felt I was a big fan of this genre. I'm a big fan of Mission Impossible and Bond movies, and I never had the opportunity as a girl watching myself in one of those, you know. I always wondered if there's room for something like that, but female-driven. Now, the only problem that I have with this is that she's basically referring to strong female characters, and Gal Gadot was born in '85, meaning movies with strong women like Alien were already out. That came out in '79. Raiders of the Lost Ark with Marion came out in '81. Saoirse was in Willow in '88. Now, when you're also talking specifically about, action movies like Mission Impossible and Bond movies, there were also women in that space as well. So I'm just feeling like I don't completely agree with her at this part, but the rest of the, interview I do agree with her on. She continued, and I think I got my confidence after Wonder Woman came out and became this huge success. That was the thing that really proved to me that, wait, why do people say that men don't want to see women? They do want to see movies with women if the story is good, if the action is there, if it makes sense. They are all for it. And this is something that I constantly have to say, because there are individuals in the entertainment industry that say, well, men don't want to watch movies with women. It's why movies with women don't do as good. Men are just misogynists and men hate watching female-centric content. But that's not true. If the content itself is good, if the story is good, if the writing in general is good, if the action is there, if it makes sense, they are completely all for it and they will consume that content. And I hate this angle that Hollywood and people who watch movies are just filled with misogyny, because it's just not true. And seeing someone like Gal say this and confirm that this is the way that she feels is awesome, because there really aren't a lot of females in Hollywood who are willing to kind of go against the narratives that the higher-ups push. I mean, recently I've had to talk about Ana de Armas, say something very similar when she was asked about potentially gender swapping James Bond. She said there shouldn't be any need to steal someone else's character. There's no need for a female Bond, because content with, female Bond type characters do already exist, and he was always meant to be a man, which I think is just a great saying all around. Gal continues, though, by saying, after Wonder Woman came out, my husband, who is also my partner in my production company, we had a meeting with David Ellison, and we had a great time. At the end of the conversation, David asked me, so what do you want to do? What do you want to produce? And I told him, I want to produce a female-driven action movie, one that is exciting, global, scopy. We shook on it, and now we're here. So I'm very, very grateful for the fact that we've had such great partners like David, Skydance, and Netflix. It's been an incredible ride. Now, I personally do think that Gal is a fantastic actress. I did think that Wonder Woman 1984 was a very bad film. I was not a fan of it, but she was one of the only half-decent parts of it. And I have really enjoyed other movies that she has been in over the years. I really liked, Death on the Nile, even though that wasn't really an action. I thought that was okay. I personally really liked Red Notice. I'm going to watch Heart of Stone. She is a very solid actress, and I'm glad that she does kind of have this, type of character that she wants to play, that she does describe as a strong character, but again, that she says needs to be, well written and have a good story behind her and not exist to just exist. Not only did she rebuke Hollywood's misogyny narrative in regards to moviegoers, but she also recently rebuked Hollywood's gender swapping trope. She also said, I wanted to show a great story about a female character who is doing it in the action genre, right? She is thriving, but at the same time, how many times have they just switched gender? They take a story that's all about the men and then they change it to a woman and then go shoot it? To me, it was so important in the DNA to make Heart of Stone a little different because men and women are different, they're built differently, they operate differently. I think that this is, just all around a very good statement by her. All these statements are really solid because they do break so many narratives we are constantly hearing and being attacked with. Now, obviously, this movie could still come out and it could just feel like a generic action film that, oh boy, it's only different because there's a woman, but I feel like she sounds pretty passionate about this character and the characters she plays in general, so it does give me a lot of confidence. And this also reminds me, recently, Elle Fanning and Jenna Ortega rejected Hollywood's stereotypical badass and strong female characters, and they straight up mocked them, which I thought was hilarious. Fanning brought up the subject as part of Variety's Actors on Actors after briefly discussing her role as Catherine the Great in the television series The Great. Again, two very good female actresses. I think that it's great that all of these women are coming out because they are very prominent in Hollywood. It's not like we're just going to see them thrown to the side because they are rebuking these narratives. They are here to stay, and I feel like that's why they're saying these things, because they're not afraid of potentially being blacklisted from the industry. They know that they are important to several franchises and they're gonna speak what they feel. Fanning said, I don't know if you feel this, but when reading scripts, if they love describing women as badass, strong, they're always coming into a room and they know everything and it's oh, that's a strong woman. It's I don't want to watch that. I am not like that. I love complicated women and I play evil women, and that messiness is, what I like. I like trying to bring that into Catherine because she's not always right all the time. Ortega then shared also, when you're not watching a project, you want to feel like the characters are representatives that you're seeing of yourself on screen are relatable or attainable. And when you're constantly walking and there's cars blowing up in the background and things like that, it's cool, it's awesome, it looks beautiful, but I don't know anything about her. And I agree. I mean, I am sick of seeing two-dimensional female characters. You see so many females on screen now, and 5 minutes into their story, you can tell, oh, this is just going to be another classic, strong, independent woman. And while I like seeing strong women on screen, there's definitely a line, and you can tell when they are going to cross it and go into that Mary Sue territory. But yes, I think that this was a great interview by Gal, and she is completely rebuking Hollywood's misogyny narrative alongside all of these other fantastic actresses, and I love to see it happen. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and of course found it important and informative, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.